$450 is not a lot to build your first gaming PC, but what if we told you you don't even have to build it, you just have to do a simple upgrade, and it is literally that cheap.
It is literally that cheap, and this is literally what we love to do here at the Toasty Bros. And we're gonna show you guys how to put it together after word from today's sponsor.
Matt and Jackson might be smarter than me at literally everything, but there's one category I have them beat, and that's peripheral knowledge. That's why I want to talk to you about today's sponsor, Dareu, and the Cool68 keyboard and A950 wing mouse, two peripherals that are crazy good. The Cool68 is a 65% Hall effect keyboard that has a super sleek design with light permeating at the side, and it also comes in 4 color and keycap options. Beyond just having insane visual appeal, its 8K polling rate and comes with all the features that make Hall effect the best for gaming, like adjustable trigger, rapid trigger, and all that fun stuff. Not to mention, it has extra features like DHA smart filtering, web software, hot swap PCB, and more. Plus, with the gasket mount structure, 3-layer filling, and blade magnetic switches, it sounds amazing. Here's a sample. And if you're on the hunt for a new wireless mouse, the Dareu A950 wing is a great option. It's also 8K polling and super lightweight at 35 grams. But compared to other lightweight options, it's a solid shell and full-sized. It also utilizes a custom 3950 sensor called the AM750U. The shape is also ergonomic and super comfortable for all grip types. I had no trouble palm gripping it. If you're interested in trying the Dareu Cool68 or A950 wing yourself, check out the links in the description down below for more info. Big thanks to Dareu for sponsoring today's video. Now, let's get back to it.
So we picked up this PC on eBay for $260 after shipping, and let me tell you why that is an amazing deal. Number one is this CPU is probably much newer than you think. This is kind of like an HP Pavilion, but they don't exactly call it that, with an i5-13400, which is a 10-core, 16-thread processor, so it has the efficiency and the performance cores, and obviously it has some really good upgrade path to it because of the fact that you can add like NVMe M.2s, which it just come with. You actually have DDR4 RAM, so you don't have to spend the DDR5 pricing, and it comes with 12 gigs, so it's a 4 gig stick and an 8 gig stick, and honestly in this RAM market, I'm not gonna complain about that. I think it'll be enough for everything we're gonna throw at it, and we're gonna be upgrading it. It comes with an A+ Gold power supply. I mean, this thing's a pretty darn good deal for $260 when you compare it to like the Optiplex we were buying just a couple years ago.
And the biggest thing with this one is we are gonna be upgrading with the graphics card that does not require external power, because that power supply, well, we got wattage wise on this thing. That's one thing I have not been able to verify, and it's probably upside down, so.
180 watts.
So yeah,
I figured.
Yes, very low wattage.
You remember how I just said 180 watts and that'll probably be enough?
Yeah, it's not gonna be enough. Well, it kinda is. So in this video, originally when we planned this, we thought this HP would come with enough of a power supply to be able to handle this 3056 gig, but when Jackson read off that power supply wattage, it literally shocked me in that very moment. So what we're gonna do for this video is we're going to benchmark this. We'll show you guys the actual wattage of the system with our watt reader, and just go into this with a little bit of an experimental mind, because this may not be something we recommend long term, and we'll talk about towards the end of the video some alternatives that we figured out as we finish this video up. But just know, buyer beware when doing this. This is definitely pushing this power supply to the limits, and we'll show you guys in those benchmarks. So the thing is, we can't put anything any higher end versus something like this graphics card, the 3056 gig, that is requiring external power and at most will pull 75 watts. So this graphics card right here will be interesting pairing with the i5-13400, because we'll get our esports titles performance with that nicer, newer CPU, and the 3056 gig does give you decent performance at 1080p medium settings, and it's a really easy plop in and just boot up and it gets working. It gets working, baby. Working or gaming, whatever you're doing, this 3056 gig will be great for it. And at $190, which is kind of the going average price of it right now, we'll say it's a bit expensive. Maybe check the used market to see if you can save a little bit of money. This is a really good option to get this all up and running for $450 total.
And normally on these PCs, Matt and I would kind of go through and do like a cleaning. Not that it really needs it because it's pretty new, but funny enough, someone at PC Bros thought this was a PC for them to sell back there. So they already put new thermal paste on it and like fully cleaned it up and probably even installed Windows and everything. So shout out to PCBros.tech for that.
Yeah, you could buy one of these sleeper PCs if you don't want to follow this guide. You can always go to PCBros.tech to buy a pre-built PC. But in this video, we're going to show you guys how you can do it yourself. We're going to upgrade this PC with the graphics card. It's going to take no time at all. And then we'll show you guys in gaming what this thing is capable of. The honors of the legendary 3056 gig.
One of my favorite cards right here. I will say the 5050 is kind of slowly taking the 3050 slot for me because of the price, you know, it's really close. But one thing that is cool, I'm going to point this out, if you want to get really risky, you could do a 5050 by powering it by SATA, but it's really risky.
I'm very curious. So what is the wattage of the 13400 here? Because this is getting in that territory of
probably 65 to 90 if I had to guess. We will hook this up to a watt meter, by the way, like the whole PC. Yeah.
Base power 65, but it could boost up to 148, which I don't expect that to happen with this cooler. That is a lot.
That's insane. Well,
It better not, because if it does, that's going to be beyond our wattage if this pulls 75. So I imagine with this board, it's going to be limited in some way. We'll see how limited it really is, especially with this cooler. I don't think that's going to cool 140 plus watts anyway. So we'll see what kind of watts we get when we load up MSI Afterburner.
All right, well, let's go ahead and throw in our 3050. So we're going to go ahead. Normally you'd have a couple of extra like break off tabs here, but they've already been broken off. So we got that part done. And then all you got to do is open this like that. And I wonder, can we might, I bet we can do this.
You can do it because I did it before.
We can do this. You should be able to take this like so.
The finesse.
And I'll tell you what, I'll tell you boys what. If you do need to remove this, it's really simple. You just take this one screw out and then it literally pops out.
Oh, and just like that,
boom.
You're good to go.
Easy.
And for whatever reason you want to get to the RAM easier and storage, again, Jackson mentioned you remove this one screw, this one piece comes out, and you remove this front panel, these 3 clips right here. Be careful. And you will see a screw hiding. Where is it? Right there. Jonah's looking at it. That one right there. Move that one, and that'll allow you to pull this gauge out and get full access to the system. And the one question we will answer that everyone asks, can this be case swapped? Now, normally the answer I would say is no, but shout out to Tech by Matt. He actually took something very similar to this and forced it into a case. It's not easy. You can't do it. You're literally losing all these USB ports inside your case, so it's kind of unproductive. But in theory, you can, but it's one of those where we just tell you we don't recommend it. You're buying this as an option to just plop in a GPU, get to gaming, and call it a day with it, sell it, and move on to your next system whenever you're ready to upgrade. So don't even think about it with that, because everything is proprietary.
Yeah, the only thing I would maybe consider doing is definitely not case swap, but you might be able to find a larger cooler that could fit in there.
Yeah, and I'd be curious to see if that does benefit with the performance with that CPU, but we're just gonna have to see what this 13400 can do, if it's power limited in any way. But for $450, the specs on paper look solid. Let's see if this is a guide you should follow at home.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are in Battlefield 6, and we're scared.
We're a little scared. As you guys can see, we have the watt reader going. And the reason being, we made the discovery, and when I was originally playing this video, I saw this deal in this HP. You know, I kind of forget that HP, even for desktops, just decides, yeah, you don't need more than 180 watts. We're just gonna make it to where adding any no power GPUs like a 3050 is just borderline scary. The current wattage we're pulling is actually, we're holding. We're at 179 watts of the 180. I don't think anything's throttling down. I think we're just kind of like right there. But the watt reader is there for you guys to see at home. Again, it is not advised to run these power supplies at this high of a wattage, especially over the rated wattage. It technically can do it, but it's not something that is really recommended. And if we get these benchmarks done and shut down, yay, victory.
That's a win, yeah.
That's a win, but it's not something, again, I would necessarily advise. It just blows my mind HP does this. Also,
Yeah,
you can do the page up.
I really wish they'd just given us, like 240 would have been perfect, but you know, I guess it is what it is.
It is what it is. I wish there was 240 version. Yeah, we're hitting like, it is funny right now, it is chilling at like 178 to 180. And it's just kind of going back and forth between 178 and 180 the entire time.
Yeah, and the subtle foreshadowing / disclaimer is that when we were running CS, at one point I did see it hit about 234 watts.
Yes.
And that's the thing, is power supplies can handle that for moments at a time.
Yes.
But it's for how long, it's really hard to say. Once it's over that rated wattage, it's kind of just like a game of efficiency and like how nice the power supply is.
Did we show the settings we were running at?
I never did.
Well, we'll show you guys. We are running Battlefield 6, by the way, and it's not too bad.
Probably gonna die here, it's okay.
The graphics, yeah. I think we should be running low 1080p with DLSS on balanced.
Yep, we're on low, DLSS balanced, yep. And I mean, it is running really well. Like, I'm pretty happy with this. I'm able to get some kills and everything, but yeah, moral of the story is, I mean, the 3050 is about as low as you can go if you want like a new graphics card. There's not really anything that pulls less power than this. And you can see it's not really the 3050's fault.
No.
It's only doing, like, it's not gonna go over 75 watts. Like, it just can't. Oh my gosh.
That
That missile was insane. But the problem is our CPU, which is a 65 watt. I don't know why Intel does the wattages the way they do.
No.
Kind of doing 65 watts, but the problem is it can boost whenever it feels the need to because of this motherboard, which is allowing it to do so, which honestly,
Shout out.
good.
Just give us better power supply.
Just give us more power.
Yeah, I wonder if it's doing some power tuning. It's too conveniently sitting at 176 to like 179. Like it's just.
It could be, which that would be great. If it normally stays around this, then we're gonna be fine. I mean,
yes.
I know people freak out because we gave you this disclaimer. When it's over it's uncharted territory. When it's on the number or under, they design 180 watts to run at 180 watts 24/7.
Yeah.
So that's science right there.
At least in this run, you guys will be able to see it a little better than me. I'm kind of looking at a reflection of a screen. I've not seen us go over 180 since we loaded in where it had that initial boost, because it looks like our CPU has been slowly going down a little bit, because it will let it boost up to 100 watts at some point, short period of time. Wow. Anywho, but it's not going to sustain at that wattage, because especially that cooler, it wouldn't be happy. So
yeah.
As long as it chills around here, we're at 180, and Battlefield is one of the games I would imagine that's going to use the most of our hardware in terms of like CPU and GPU usage. It normally is like one of the games that always does that.
Yeah, I would definitely think so. And other than that, I would just think like those little like load-in times we might pull more than the watts. But I don't know. It seems like, I don't want to say the wrong thing, but I feel like HP has it kind of figured out where they saw this coming, so they were like, all right, let's hold the wattages back a little bit. I definitely think that if it could, it would be going over it right now.
It would.
So, all right, well, yeah, it's running good though. 60 plus FPS at these settings. You can get even more if you use like some more upscaling. You know, even go 720p if you want to. But I'm really happy with this. So let's go ahead and check out another game.
All right, guys, we're in Clair Obscur Expedition 33, and another game that is going to be demanding. We're really going to see what's going on here with this wattage, but we're running low settings because 3056 gig, that's kind of what you're going to be running on this game with DLSS set to balance. Currently running, yeah, low settings across the board. So nothing super crazy. We'll get a little page up action going here and see what's happening. All we're really looking for in this game is 60. We're getting those load lags a bit. What, Jackson, you want to tell the people what our wattage is looking like, just kind of casually moving around here?
Yeah, you were at 192.
Oh, that's fun.
You're back down to 164. So it seems like it's trying to keep it below 180, but there's moments where it...
I'd see moments where the CPU's hitting 90% at 4 point whatever gigahertz, which is higher than what it was in Battlefield. Battlefield was running a lot higher, so that might be where we're getting that.
It is definitely holding itself back, though.
Yes, it is. It is, which is, you know, good. It just depends if it's holding itself back to a safe standard that's ultimately, you know, up for you to decide, I guess. But yeah, we're getting decent FPS, dips below 60 at times. Those 1% lows are a little bit lower than I would like to see, but obviously that's a lot of random lag spikes of stuff loading in. Can I parry? Ah, I can do it. Beautiful. But again, this is high-end game. Definitely one that is a little more demanding to run. I would say it's playable if you're wanting to play this game. You could go even more crazy with the DLSS if you wanted to. I think this game, will it support frame gen on this GPU? I'm actually curious. It will not. No frame gen. Only on DLSS 4 supported GPUs you get frame gen. So unfortunately, not going to happen with the 3050. But it is playable. I would say this is pretty solid across the board. And you may have resources like lossless scaling as well if you want to add some frame gen to a game like this. But I personally would run it like this and get a 60 FPS experience. Lock it to 60 to maybe alleviate some of the random spikes you would have with that wattage. But are we still settling around 170, you think, to kind of close it out?
Yeah, you're at like 160s right now.
It's still a gamble in my eyes, but we'll try an esports title. We'll try some Apex Legends, a game that has a built-in FPS cap at 144. We'll see if the wattages are okay in that, or if it'll be worse because we'll actually be pushing that CPU a little bit, but we'll see what Apex can do.
All right, we're in Apex Legends, and we got our watt meter going again. Not something we normally do, but obviously this is mainly just for science purposes, so you guys can actually see how close we are getting at times. But game itself is running pretty good. We're actually running 1080p at max FOV with kind of like a medium preset.
Looks like you got a little bit of everything in there. A little medium, a little low, a little high.
It's kind of picked what felt right. And we're getting the frame cap right now. Steam's built-in frame cap at 144.
Yeah, we're looking at about, you guys can see it too, 170 is kind of where we're at. We're peaking at 180, but we seem to like drop down pretty quickly after that. So, you know, I guess if you do run this setup and you get a really good deal on these HPs, you could always cap some frame rates if you want to be extra careful about it. But realistically, for the price you paid and the performance you're getting, I don't know, it's ultimately up to you if it's worth the gamble. We're here just to present the findings.
Yeah, and obviously we didn't go into this thinking that we would pull this many watts, but you know, this happens sometimes in videos. You never know. Oh my god, this guy's movement. The movement!
Oh god.
He's gonna kill both of us. You little boy. They're not gonna be able to find me in here. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely something that I would say, personally, I would take the risk. Especially if I knew what kind of games I was gonna be playing. If I knew I wasn't gonna be playing like tons of like super demanding games, because this already isn't a high-end PC anyways. I'd risk it. I'd risk it all.
But definitely, even if you were even thinking about it, don't be using that SATA adapter.
Yeah, don't do that.
that ain't happening.
You know, to be fair, with a little bit of with some of the efficiency that you're losing, I think technically we are pulling a little bit less than what the watt meter says.
Probably.
We're getting less at the power supply.
Yes.
Because you're gonna have a little bit of like waste and everything. So at least I would think. I think so.
All of us have a little waste on the inside.
I'll have a little bit of waste.
Oh,
Ooh,
yeah.
oh, goody.
You know, something we haven't even talked about really. If we were having any performance lag, we're still worried about the power, the RAM thing. 12 gigs of RAM seems to be fine in the games we're playing right now. Multitasking obviously will limit you. The Windows install we had didn't seem to have a lot of stuff going on. It seemed very bare bones. So if you happen to get one of these that may have more bloat than others, maybe a fresh Windows install or remove a bunch of that crap like the antivirus and stuff would definitely help you out RAM-wise. But every game we tested, I mean, Apex is an easier to run AAA title. About 8 gigs being used right now. So we do have enough to make it work. 12 in this market, just enough right now.
I guess so. This game hasn't really seemed to pull, well, McAllister better really tell us, I guess, but it doesn't seem like we've gone over the wattage.
We might have when we load it in, just like the other one, like whatever like single core boost that CPU does when it loads in is probably where we're gonna hit over 180 for a second, but then we go back down. But the entire gaming run, we have not had the 180 plus, just kind of in the 170s.
That's good.
The downside too is it's not as easy as just getting a power supply upgrade with the proprietary power supply.
Yeah, I was kind of wondering if they do, maybe someone in the comments can let us know if they do make a aftermarket power supply for this.
Or they made the adapters for them. Because I know that's pretty common with some of the PCs like this. Somebody has made an adapter for a standard power supply. It's an easy little plug and play would be if you got an adapter that worked, get one of those little Flex Apivia power supplies, pop that in there. Pretty easy. Oh. Oh.
This mouse,
Oh.
this mouse. Oh, God.
Oh.
What is his movement? It's insanity.
That guy's an insane gamer.
No.
Oh.
Oh, God, my aim.
I don't know what it is about Apex Legends. When you go on a streak of like missing like crazy, it's the most
hard to
goofy
correct.
looking. You're just like,
It's hard to correct. Oh, look at that. We got the final kill cam. Yeah. All right, Apex Legends, no problems, ran good. I mean, so far we have not crashed once or shut down or anything. We've had no issues so far.
Let's run some built-in benchmarks and wrap this video up.
Well guys, that was a fun and scary benchmark run. So at the end of the day, the PC did run and it ran really well. Temps were good, wattages were scary, but it never did crash or anything. And it seems like this PC has some built-in precautions to try to keep those wattages around the 180 mark or less. But Matt and I did a little bit of research and you can actually easily buy on eBay a 400 watt version, which is basically the same power supply, just 400 watts, or a 500 watt version that comes with a PCIe connector. So you could go with something like a 5060, 9060 XT 16 gigs. So that does give you much further ceiling, and they're like 50 to 60 bucks.
And honestly, with how well that CPU was performing, and especially boosted higher than I thought it was going to, adding that power supply would make this a really good value option. As Jackson mentioned, adding a higher end GPU, again, it's gonna cost you more money, or probably with this configuration, looking at a little over $500 if you manage to find all the stuff at the same prices in today's time. But I think that investment is definitely worth it for upgrading longevity with an office PC that normally wouldn't get that. And also just a little peace of mind, because I personally wouldn't wanna run long-term, especially with higher end games. Lower end games would be fine, but again, buyer beware. I would recommend upgrading the power supply if you are a bit concerned about it. And to wrap things up, we did run 2 more benchmarks, our 3D Mark score and CS2. CS2, 1080p low settings, got an average of 286.6 FPS with a 1% low of 228.9, and 3D Mark Time Spy was a score of 5,215, which is only a 9 cent per point score. Really, the 3050 was bottlenecking the system the entire time, so the score is pretty on par with the 3056 gig, but for a plug-and-play solution that did not explode, I'm pretty happy with it.
So as always, we hope you guys enjoyed today's video / experiment. If you did, make sure you check out our other 2 YouTube channels and also our twitch.tv/toastybros, and do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
See you guys on the next one. Bye-bye.
This PC will be $67. No, I'm just kidding, it's not gonna be 67 bucks. This PC will be for sale at PCBros.tech for a great price. We may upgrade the power supply, we may not, make it cheaper.
Just go to PC Bros and see what we ended up doing. PCBros.tech. He's got Toasty Bros on checkout. We will save 3% of your next purchase. We will. You will. See you guys later. Goodbye.